Hi, this is Christy Matthews with ChristyMatthewsOnline.com and ChristyJMatthews.com. Hope you're having a great day. I'm broadcasting from my Oakley, California office, and as you can see, I've got the whiteboard. So I have quite a bit to unpack here for you, but this is something I've seen in my coaching practice, and I wanted to come back and share it with you. And what I've been seeing is the enormous amount of credit card debt that my fellow entrepreneurs are carrying, and having experienced this in my past and also have seen it multitude amount of times in my real estate career, I just know how painful that this can be for you. And it is just, if you can at all possibly consider getting out of debt, doing what you can to get out of debt, I promise you that things will be much better for you. So let's start with what's happening. You know, I get it. We all need startup cash to start our business. Very few people have a wad amount of cash to start their businesses. And in the home business front, typically what happens, it's a network marketing opportunity. And with such a low cost of entry, what do? Well, you pull out your credit card, right? And generally, if you're in the network marketing space, that requires some purchase of auto ship or a monthly membership fee or something so that you can go ahead and qualify to earn commissions. That's just how it works, folks. But the problem is, what happens is that too little focus is put on the business in terms of personal development, going out there and hustling and making the sales that are necessary. And often what happens is that people go and jump from opportunity to opportunity and adding up new opportunity, monthly membership fees, additional auto ship requirements, and next thing you know, there are these massive credit card debts of membership fees and auto ship charges and no returns on the business. I know you know what I'm talking about, and I hope that I'm speaking with you, because this has got to be a little bit of tough love here, because I really want to help you. I've seen this so many times. And I know the gurus are going to tell you, hey, you got to get ready to buy. You got to be ready to invest in yourself. You're sitting at a seminar or webinar, have your credit card out, be ready to buy. It doesn't matter if you're online or if you're in a room somewhere, there's going to be 9 times out of 10 something to sell, and there's something to buy. And the presentations are often structured in such a way to where it influences your impatience trigger, influences your something within you, impulse, let's call it something, you know, for lack of a better word, your lack of impulse control to go back and either go in the back of the room and buy, or buy at that opportunity when it's a massively discount price, that one-time opportunity to buy during the webinar. Okay, so I'm just preaching here, and I don't mean to preach to you, but I really want to help you. So let's go ahead and let's talk about a few statistics, shall we? So I'm going to go over this, the whiteboard. So did you know that 60% of startups start off with debt? And for every $1,000 in debt that you carry, it reduces your chance of business survival by 2%. Now that seems like a low number, but when you're operating off of credit card debt and interest rates of like 18%, 14%, 25%, this number goes way up. Can't help it. Did you know that the average credit card debt by all Americans is $6,400? But in the network marketing and affiliate marketing space, the home-based business space, that number is 3-4 times that. I hope it's not you, but I know too many of you where this is happening. Americans owe $834 billion. That's with a B overall every year. And oh, I didn't put it up here, but the overall debt that Americans owe are 1.03 trillion, I believe. Now, if you think about the entire United States budget, we're running trillion-dollar deficits actually. So we're not even able as a country to stay within the means. Although our revenues are some, gosh, I think we're up to nearly $3 trillion a year in revenues, we're still running deficits ourselves. 15% of Americans live beyond their means. So that means that those are the people that live beyond their means but may have the means to correct their budget, tighten the belt a little bit, and live within their means. That means that there's no savings going on. 43% use their credit card just to pay monthly expenses, and that's what's very troubling. And I've seen that one too many times, not only in the home business space, but in my real estate career. It's so painful to see people that are having that kind of pain, and it come to you, and in my past, they came to me to get a mortgage to buy a house, and I have to tell them, I'm sorry, you're just carrying too much debt. And maybe mom's pregnant, they have 2 kids, they're living in a tiny apartment and they want to buy a home, but they can't because of all of the debt. So let's talk about 4 reasons why you want to get out of debt, okay? This is a big one. It's stress. There's nothing, the worst kind of stress is money stress. Just think about it. You're fighting with your significant, your loved one, over not being able to pay the bills. Some ugly things happen. And it's just money stress will affect your health, probably more than anything else. It's the worst kind of stress to have. Next one is time. You lose time. Time of not living by being strapped by debt. And I'm sorry about the diva light here, folks. It's right here, right here. I apologize, but otherwise it'd be very dark in here. But losing time, precious time, that is one commodity that we just cannot ever get back. Once the minute we just spent is gone, it's gone, folks. And think about all the time that's being spent paying off debt and not living. Dollars. Think about all the dollars that are being spent going to, I don't know, American Express, Capital One, and not to pick on certain businesses out there, Discover. You're paying them huge amounts of interest, usurious amounts of interest, but it's done, and we're losing the dollars, and these dollars could be going towards investment or retirement, right? And that's not happening. Just not happening. And this one too, dreams. It affects your dreams of maybe buying that house, that vacation, going away with friends, having lessons for your children, funding a college fund for them. There are so many things that being in debt affects. These are 4 biggies, guys, and we want to try to stay out of that. So now the reasons we want to go ahead and get out of this is very clear. And I hope you just take some time to think about that. These are just, I know most of you have probably felt this, so take some time to sit and let that resonate. And I want to show you a method for how to get out of credit card debt. See, what happens is, and here there's a cascading thing that happens when you have credit card debt in this dream here. Let's say you want to buy a house. You know, the credit card debt will put so much pressure on your credit scores. It is such an enormous amount of your budget that it eliminates your ability to fall within what's called a debt ratio to buy a home. There's an overall debt ratio. In fact, recommended ratios are 28% goes towards servicing the debt on the mortgage, and 36% overall debt. That means all your credit card payments, car payment, property taxes, those types of things that are all wrapped in to the amount of debt that a mortgage lender is going to feel comfortable loaning to you on. And of course, they're going to look at your credit score too, which is for a different type of discussion and not for today. So let's talk about how to get out of debt, shall we? So it seems very simple, but it's hard, and you've got to look at this as being possibly, depending on your debt load, it could be a number of years, folks. Maybe 3 to 4 years, could be a little longer, could be less. It all depends on how hard you're willing to work, because there are ways to add to this formula. Okay, so let's talk about the ways to add to that formula now. First of all, if you don't have enough money every month and it's not enough coming in, what can you do? You can go out and hustle more, try to make more sales. You could take a side hustle. What kind of skills do you have that you might be able to go out and sell? Maybe contract with somebody. Mow lawns, I don't know. You could be creative, but there are so many ways to go out and create extra income. Maybe get a part-time job. So if you want to get out of debt, there is a way to do that, and you must do so. It is just, getting out of debt is tremendous freedom, folks. There's nothing like it. So let's talk about how to reduce your credit card debt. So it's like I said, it's a very simple process, but you have to do the work every month. First of all, you want to look at all your credit cards. Okay, I've got 3. And you're going to take the one that has the highest interest rate. Now, the reason why you want to pick the highest interest rate and not the lowest balance is because interest is what's causing the time loss and the dollar loss. You'll end up having more time to pay and having to pay more in dollars. So even though your highest interest rate card might have a lower balance, you still want to go after that card and keep maybe a lower interest rate card with a higher balance and work on that last. And it all works out dollar-wise. Trust me, it works best to go after the credit card that has the highest interest rate. Now, I know psychologically it might be easier to go after a lower balance card, but it will cost you more in the long run. So get out of the psychology, or I should say, get out of your mind, get out of the psychology, and get into what really works. So what really works is that you're going to take your highest credit card, let's say highest interest rate, okay? And let's say it has a $6,400 balance, and you're paying 22% on that a month. Oh, you know what? I missed one step. Before you do this, you need to write out your budget. Very important step. Apologize for missing that. You must get a budget together. You need to know where every penny is going throughout the month. It is absolutely a must. And what you're looking for is some extra dollars left at the end of the month. Now, you might be saying, oh, there's no extra dollars left at the end of the month. Well, then, find a way to get it. And if there's just some things in there, let's say for you ladies, you're getting your nails done, your hair colored. For guys, maybe some fishing gear or things like that that you like to do, you're going to have to scale back. There's going to be some pain because you're already feeling pain by paying this, but some self-inflicted pain on getting out of this is going to definitely be worth it. So find the extra money in your budget. We can talk about other ways of finding money. We could do that on a different discussion. I just gave you a couple of ideas. For the scope of this video, find that extra money. Let's say that you found an extra $100 at the end of the month. You know, you might have to turn your TV off. You may have to go change your cell phone plan. You may have to downgrade your internet speed. I don't know what it is, but you can find the $100. You just need to do it, okay? All right? I know, and I'm just trying to help you. All right, so let's say you did all of that, okay? So you have a $50 a month minimum that's required on the card, and you have your extra $100. So you're going to be paying $150 on that card. The other cards that you have, however, you will only be making minimum payments. Do not add any extra dollars to those cards. Do not spread your extra $100 out to paying on the balances of the extra cards. It will not work that well for you. What you're doing is what's called debt loading. What we want to do is debt load down one card at a time, because this is going to have a cascading effect, and then you'll see this in just a moment. So you're going to pay this $150 and or any extra dollars that you have per month, but for this discussion, let's say you have $100 extra a month, your minimum payment is $50, you're going to pay $150 until this card is gone. Well, guess what? Now you're going to take that $150, you're going to add your 50 to come up with $200. So now that you got rid of that credit card balance, don't think that, hey, I got an extra $150 a month, I can go out and blow it. No, you're going to take that $150, add it to the next $50 minimum, and your new payment is going to be $200, and you're going to be paying this to the next card right here. And you're going to do that until that card is paid off. Once that card is paid off, I hope you're getting the sequence. You now have $200, and the next card requires a $50 a month minimum payment. Now you have $250 to pay. You're going to pay $250 a month every month until the third card is paid off. All right? Now, let's say you've got 4 cards. Now, once you get all of this done, you're going to have $300 a month available to pay to the card. And in this example, we had a $1,000 balance on this. And hopefully I didn't have to say to you, but you're not adding to the balances, right? When you decided to stop paying off the cards, you stopped charging, you stopped using them. Okay, just had to say that, throw that in there. So this extra $300 now is going to this balance, and guess what? In just less than 4 months, gosh, it's just like 3.1 months, this card is gone. So you can see how fast these cards can be paid off. And in a way, it's kind of fun when you start debt loading and getting out of debt, because you're actually seeing progress. And folks, as humans, we like to see progress. We want to feel progress. So you're going to want to feel good about doing this. You need to reward yourself and pat yourself along the back. Doesn't mean you go on out and use your credit card again to go reward yourself. Okay? Now, when all of this is done, let's say you have an auto loan. And I didn't mention this before, but I think it's worth saying now, is you might say, okay, I've got an auto loan and I've got these credit card balances. I think I'm going to pay off the auto loan first. No, don't do that. You want to get after the credit cards, because your auto loan is on a fixed interest rate and fixed payment. So it's fixed for 3, 5, 7 years, however long you financed it for. And yes, it might be at a higher interest rate than the others, but the credit cards are not fixed, they're variable, and it's just a different type of credit. So pay after those first. Okay, and by the way, the credit cards pull down your credit score more than your auto loan. Now, let's say you got all your credit cards paid off and you still have an auto loan. This extra $300 a month, you're not done yet. You're not done. Start debt loading that to your auto loan. So say like your car payment is, I don't know, $350 a month, and you take that $300 and you're paying $650 a month. You have just doubled what you're paying to the auto loan. And then that means you'll own your car in half the amount of time. So I hope that this makes sense to you. And this is something you definitely want to do, because if you're trying to fund a business, and hopefully your business is growing, right? So of course you're going to need to spend some time, maybe use a credit card in the future when you don't have any balances, because right now you're going to be working from cash and cash only. And like I said, if you don't have enough income to fund your business, you're going to have to find some other way to do it. Okay? So let's talk about now, what do you do to manage credit card use? Because here's a little thing that happens in the credit world. And I'm kind of a proponent that if you have enough cash and you could pay cash for things, you don't really need a credit score. But very few people, and as much as that is a nice thing to do, it's unrealistic for a lot of people. But if you can pay in cash, you don't need a credit score. But let's assume that you're going to have to mortgage a home, get a home mortgage at some point in time, or obtain financing for some other reason. You need to keep your credit healthy. So how do you do that? So along this method here, if you're making all your payments on time and you're adding more to the payment, it's actually going to help your credit score. So let's assume all this debt is gone now. Okay, it's all gone, right? It's all gone, all right? Everything's gone. Now what are you going to do with your card? If you don't use them, you lose them, unfortunately. So here is something that has worked for a very long time. I practice this myself. You now take your zero balance credit card, because you have zero balances on your cards now, right? Go out and use one card for any credit card purchases you're going to make within that month. Only put it on one card. In fact, you take the other cards and retire them to the back of your purse or your wallet. And if you can't discipline yourself, take them out of your purse or your wallet and put them in a safe place within your home. Some people put them in the freezer. Okay. But use your card, one card for the month. At the end of the month, when the bill comes in, you're going to pay off the entire balance, because you're going to have the cash to do so, and you're now living within your means, and you will only make purchases for which you can pay for. You should never make small consumer item purchases on credit, okay, where you're going to make payments. And some people believe, oh, well, if I carry a balance on my credit card, it's going to help me build my balance. No, using your credit card and paying it off in full actually will raise your credit score the highest. Now, having said that, you're going to use one card, right? Make all your monthly purchases that you're going to use your credit card for. If you can pay cash on other things, great. But what if you're buying gas at the gas station? Okay, fine. There's just some things that have to be done on the credit card. Pay that bill off at the end of the month. Use the card for 3 months, then retire the card to the back of your wallet or somewhere safe in your home, and take the next card. And you're going to do the same thing. Use that card to make all your credit card purchases for the month. Pay off the bill at the end of when the bill comes in. You're going to use that card for 3 months, and then you're going to retire it. Then you're going to take this card that hasn't been used for 6 months, right? Because you've used the other 2 cards, used them and retired them. Now you're going to come on the 7th month, and you're going to use the next card. And you're going to use that for your monthly purchases, pay off the bill when it comes in, use the card for 3 months, and then retire it. And you're going to continue to do this rotation thing. And it takes a little bit of thinking about and reminding, maybe for the first year, to get through this. But once it becomes a habit, it's something you will do automatically. And let me tell you, folks, when you only have one bill coming in and the other bills that come in with the zero balance, it's going to feel good. And it's going to keep you on track, because you're going to say, okay, I have $300 on this credit card this month. You know that you have the money because you've been making those payments, and hopefully you got rid of a car payment as well. So now you have this extra money and you can pay that. So folks, I hope that this helped you out. I hope that you take my advice and really work at getting rid of your credit card debt. It is essential for survival in this business, absolutely survival in this business. Otherwise, it just isn't going to happen. So, and save your business by eliminating your debt. It's that important. So folks, you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. I also want to remind you that if there's any way that I can help you out, just message me. And if you liked today's video, give me a thumbs up and let me know how well you liked it. If there's any comments, please leave them below. Really appreciate your attendance and allowing me the opportunity to come into your world for a little while. So you have a great day, and visit my websites. There's some great resources there that may be able to help you out in your business. And again, reach out to me if there's a way I can help you out personally, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.